I'm May Tramada. I'm from The Upcoming. It's a pleasure to speak with you both today.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. I just want to start with you, Kira. Can you just give us a brief introduction into what people can expect from this new spin-off series for the Thundermans?
Yeah, absolutely. Fans can expect a lot of what made the original show feel special, a lot of fun, a lot of heart, a lot of family, a lot of superhero action. But new fans, I think, will also enjoy it. We tried to really make a show that stands on its own and is a fun experience, whether you're an existing fan or not. So if you're new, hopefully you'll still get a lot of joy and laughter out of it. But either way, it's a good time. We're really proud of it and excited for people to finally see it.
For your characters, where do we find them in this new spin-off? What are they doing? What's the difference between this new series and the previous one? Start with you, Jack.
Some time has passed. Kira and I, or Phoebe and Max rather, are sort of stepping into these new roles. We moved to a new town, kind of like what we did in the original series. We came from Metroburg, went to Hiddenville, and now it's happening again. We're going from Hiddenville to Secret Shores. And it's just the three of us, me, Phoebe, and Chloe. And so, I think what has changed most is that Phoebe and Max are a little bit older. We're somewhere in our 20s, and we're taking care of Chloe. We're her guardians, and it's cool to kind of come back, and it feels fresh because we're stepping into this sort of mature, sort of different role. Obviously, we're still superheroes, and
still running the T-Force. So when the show ended, we took on the mantle as being the people running, the captains of the T-Force, and so this whole extended mission, we're on our captain grind. Mm-hmm. But now we've also got a 13-year-old to take care of.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic. And speaking of the 13-year-old Chloe, what's that like? Watching her grow up through the seasons and also now taking on the role of being her guardians. Is that kind of like a difficult dynamic to kind of like tackle?
No, it parallels real life. We are super proud of her and we love her like a little sister, and she, is very always very humble and wants to learn. And so we get to sort of teach her acting things, and she's really built up her confidence over the course of the show, and she's just doing such a great job. We're just really grateful that she's lending us her childhood to star in this show so that it can continue on, and she's doing a great job taking the mantle as the new sort of lead teenager of the show.
Jack, this is the Thundermans Undercover,
right.
So you're bringing back that secret identity aspect into the series. How do you refresh it this time around, especially since it's a very common trope that a lot of people have seen through superhero genres?
Yeah, it was really nice to be able to bring back that element of having to keep the superhero stuff a secret, because we did lose that at the end of the show. People knew we were superheroes.
I get what you're saying now.
And now we're undercover again. Now we're undercover again. So yeah, I don't think it's, look, it is a trope for a reason. Adding stakes always helps with narrative, and now we have the Maya element of it, trying to keep Chloe from
it feels new to me, because I guess when you said, the undercover thing, we never wore masks in the original show. It feels much more undercover now. Yes, you're right. In the original show, people didn't know we were superheroes for a while, 2 seasons or something like that, and then it happened season 3. But this does feel a little bit different. We're specifically going to Secret Shores to go on an undercover mission. And so while yes, it is kind of similar in the original show. People didn't know we were superheroes. We had to kind of keep it a secret. Picture perfect family. It's like a new feeling. We're wearing masks sometimes, and we have these undercover jobs. We're working at Chloe's school, and I think our show is really awesome for families, and I think that's why it had such major success in the beginning, is that we struck this balance between superhero and family. And while we don't have the rest of the family, I think it even feels more like a family now with the three of us and our dynamic. And for me personally, I want my own family, I want to be dad, and so stepping into this role, and Kira and I having a lot of these mom and dad sort of lines, taking care of Chloe, and particularly the line that I saw a clip of where she was like, I'm gonna ground you guys, and we're like,
Can she do that?
Can she do that? Super funny. And so, it was a super fun time shooting the first season.
As far as the undercover question, I love the parallel of Chloe having to keep this secret from her two new friends, because it feels very much like Phoebe having to keep it from Cherry in the early days. And I do see a lot of parallels, and specifically Maya and Kombucha, Chloe and Kombucha's relationship. One of our new series regulars on the show who plays one of Chloe's friends. It's fun to have that sort of full circle thing on the undercover.
And, you've grown up with these characters. You've been doing them for I think it's been a decade.
Over 12 years.
12
For me, I
years.
think 11 and a half. Yeah, 11, yeah.
Do you guys ever, now that you've grown up with these characters, you know so much about them, do you ever feel like you can have, creative input into who they are, where their stories are going to go?
Also, getting to be executive producers on this series means that we have input on everyone's characters, but especially on our own. And that was definitely nice to be able to have because, yeah, like you said, we know these characters really well. We care about them a lot. We care about the show a lot. So we definitely had a lot more input this time around.
Yeah, I think by the end of the original show, we definitely felt comfortable enough to sort of say and tell the showrunners what we were feeling or thinking about our characters. And now it's just taking it a step further. We kind of get that freedom to say about whatever about the show, whether it's different character or this storyline or I just it's great. It's really, really cool. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And in the early days of the show, there's a lot of stigma around, children's television that it can't be taken seriously, doesn't tell any important lessons or serious topics. What moment was it for you when you were filming the old series, or maybe even now, that really it struck you that, like, this is bigger than what a lot of people think children's television is?
I mean, so many moments. There's so many layers to it. I think one is people don't take multicam comedy seriously, but like we know it's such an art form in and of itself that requires a lot of care and can be done at various quality levels. And we have a really wonderful team of writers and showrunners who just really know what they're doing. In terms of the children's element side of it, I think it's important. Obviously, our show does have a lot of sort of morals and lessons like woven into the storylines, but also I just think it's really important to have children-focused entertainment for children to enjoy. Like, we live in a world where kids are now so interspersed on the internet and in adult culture. Like, there aren't very many sort of safe spaces for kids to, like, have wholesome, silly, safe, funny comedy. And I think it's a really important thing to have in a world full of so many different genres. So I'm glad that we get to be a part of, that sort of safe joy for kids.
It is safe. It's totally appropriate too. There's no weird like subliminal messaging going on. Like it's a really safe space for kids. It is wholesome, like Kira said, and I'm really proud to be a part of something that has impacted kids' lives in a really positive way.
Mm-hmm. And the superhero genre is obviously a very big thing. It's been going on for years now, but it's had a major lull recently. How do you keep that genre alive, especially in the Thundermans?
For me, the thing is, like, our show is a superhero show, but it's really, in my mind at least, like, that's so like number 4 on the list of what the show is about. Like it's a show about a family. It's a show about people with different perspectives on the world. It's a show about like being there for each other. It's a show about like growing. It's a show about puns and like silly, funny things and wacky scenarios. Like, it is a superhero show, and you do get the fun action and the plot drive out of that, but like it's not the heart of what makes our show, I think. So I think even when the appetite for superheroes might lull in the, zeitgeist, we still have other things on our show that keep us driving.
And I think to add to that, our creator, Jed Spingarn, was really big in the animated space for a long time, and I like kind of make that sort of draw that similarity of like, our show feels almost animated because it's so outlandish. Really, a lot of those animated writers have that mind where they can just kind of do anything. Yeah. And he really brought that to our show. There's
even visually, like he's so specific about the color palette and the way that everything looks. Like he wants, if you're flipping through the channels, for you to almost think it could be a cartoon for the first split second. Of watching it.
And I think the production design specifically on our new show, Thundermans Undercover, is excellent. Yeah.
And this is going to be my last question, but when you guys were starting this out the very first time when you auditioned for it, did you ever think that it was going to run for so long and make
we thought we'll be doing this 12 years, 106
sure.
a couple of movies, 26 episodes. No, of course not.
No.
How could we have known? We never even knew we were going to get another season. At any given moment, it was like, here's 7 episodes. Great. And then at the end, it was, here's another 7, and that just kept going. But we never could have known where this was going to go.
And to bring it back to your other question about when did we know that it was kind of bigger than us, I think for me, what kind of came in my mind was when we got the pickup where we realized it was going to be 100 episodes, the last pickup, and then we had our 100 episodes party, and just that number. I mean, it's so rare that a show gets to do that.
Especially a kid's show.
A kid's show,
It puts us in the ranks of like the greats in terms of sitcom, which was really exciting to get to be like in a group, in a category
and we love what we do so much. And Kira and I were in acting class together before we booked the Thundermans for years, and so it's to come full circle and get to do over 100 episodes. We did a movie now. We're back. We're so lucky, and it's incredible. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Nice talking to you.